of the early church in New Testament era. Paul, the imprisoned apostle, writes an encouraging and empowering word to the church at Philippi. Paul assures them that in spite of the obstacles and the persecutions Christians were experiencing during that time, that the very God whom he served had begun a good work in them and would carry it out unto the very day that Jesus returned. These two texts offer a word of encouragement, not only to our pastor, but to all Christians in the church. Let's paint the narrative of the first text. In this call narrative, we witness God answering the psalmist when he asked the question in Psalm 8, "What is man that thou art mindful of him? What is the son of man that thou carest about him?" And here is God's response. "Before I made you in your mother's womb, I chose you. Before you were born, I set you apart for a special work. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." These are affirmations from God. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah. The first reason that Jeremiah should be encouraged and we should be encouraged to take up the ministry is that his very life is rooted in the unshakable sovereign purposes of God. Notice the 4 acts of God surrounding the birth of Jeremiah. It's as if God wrote this on his birth certificate. First, God knew him. God said, "Before I formed you, I knew you." God took Jeremiah into his loving acquaintanceship. He set his caring eyes upon him and chose him. Just as God told him in Amos 3:2, "You and only you have I known, O Israel." This is true for every child of God. According to Romans 8:29, for those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, in order that he might be the firstborn among all brothers. All of us, God knew us. Secondly, God consecrated him. "Before you were born, I consecrated you." God set him apart for a special holy purpose. That's what consecration means. He destined him to be someone and something significant. And that is true about you and me. In giving every Christian grace and gifts, God consecrated us to be like Jesus and to use our gifts for God's own glory. Thirdly, God formed him in the womb. He says, "Before I formed you, I knew you." What Jeremiah became through the genetic makeup of his mother and his father, Hilkiah, was no accident. God shaped and destined him in his mother's womb. The Hebrew word "sur" refers to the design of a house or the sculpting of a statue. And that's the word that's used here, forming. The same level of detail and specificity God puts in designing you and me. The you that God has to work with today, minus the remnants and the effects of sin, is a you that God designed and knows very well. If God calls you to something, it is because the design is right. And God and only God has the prerogative to alter the design. That very thought compelled the psalmist to exclaim, "I will praise you." In Psalm 139:14, "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well." The New American Standard Version says, "I will give thanks for you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it well." The New Living Translation says, "Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous, and how well I know it." The New Century Version says, "I praise you because you made me in an amazing and a wonderful way. What you have done is wonderful, and I know this very well." But I have my own version. I call it the CRNNV version. It is the Reverend Chauncey Ramon Newsom version. Maybe y'all want to learn this version. Repeat this after me. "I will bless you." Someone say it with conviction. This God's talking about you. You talking about you praising God for God created you. Say, "I will bless you and praise you, for I am all of that and a bag of chips. Like everything else you created, I was created for good. I am confident that you have shaped me and molded me in your own image. And because of you, I have swagger. And because of you, I have swagger. God shaped him. God knew him. God consecrated him. God also appointed him to be a prophet. God says, I appointed you to be a prophet to the nations.